Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Well, today we are going to try something that a subscriber suggested, and it came from Haley. Miss Haley's like me. Her brain is constantly moving and thinking, and so we kind of talked about this back and forth in the chat. And I think if I remember all the things that she wanted me to try, I tried to go back and look at the chat, but I can't remember which video we talked about this on. I should have wrote it down, but you know how it is. I probably would have forgot where I wrote it down at, but I think I remember kind of what we talked about. So she wanted me to use this mold, and she suggested taking this mold and filling it up, got stuff in there, filling it up to this edge, and she said she didn't care what color or what technique or anything. I asked her if she was partial to a particular color. She said she liked, a light pale purple. And so I thought, well, because I'm partial to purple, and she said she did like that color that I threw in the bottom of that other bowl, that I did. Let me get it. This one, you guys remember that? This color here. Well, that is the Orchid from Let's Resin, the new alcohol ink. This one is, and then this is the dark indigo. So I'm going to try and come up with a color combination, and I'm going to do the layer technique like I did in I call it my fire bowl, because that's what it looks like to me in my fire bowl. And we're going to see what we can come up with those layers, and then we're going to layer it up to here. And then I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to put in the center yet, because I want that to be a surprise. You know how I am about surprises, guys. So with that said, I've got my resin mixed up. I've got it separated. So I'm going to go ahead and mix up those colors, and then we'll get to pouring it in these molds. So the colors that I've gotten out, I did get out the orchid and the dark orchid. And then I also got out the violet and the purple in the resin dye, because I have a feeling that the orchid and the dark orchid might be too close. So I think, I think what I'm going to do is maybe use the orchid and the violet together. And the reason I'm saying that is because if you look at these, well, that's got a blue tint to it, so I don't know if I want to use that. Maybe the purple. Because if you look at these bottles, you can tell the base colors of these. And if you look at this orchid, it's got an orange base to it. And when they have an orange base to it, it kind of tends to make things go awry. And so I don't want that to happen. So I think I'm going to use the orchid and the purple, because they seem to be in the same field as far as base colors. Because when you make up colors, there's always a base, and for some reason in this one, it required an orange base of some sort, and you can see it in there compared to this. Can you see that? And I know that with the peach red, it also has an orange base, and sometimes that color makes things muddy. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and mix up the dark orchid and see, I was like, where's my big stick? My big 24-inch stick. Jalapeno on a stick. But I know she said pale, but I also want these to be light enough because we're going to, you know, layer it with the Lightwish. And these are obviously transparent, so... And then when I add the Lightwish, it'll make it more transparent. So if you see how close to purple that is on my stick, it's very close to the same color. Okay. Now we're going to mix up this purple and see what color it is. And I don't think I've opened this. These little tiny bottles came in, nope. These little tiny bottles came in when I bought the casting resin, the pumps, and they give you these little sample bottles. We'll start with 4 drops and see. And obviously that's not enough. So we'll go with 8. And I just really want this color to be more of a push than anything when I drop that Lightwish. So see, that's really super light. Now I'm mixing this up and it's causing all kinds of bubbles. I'm just going to put 2 more drops. Okay, that's pretty color. Okay, now we are going to mix up the Lightwish and we're going to use the deep purple. Shake these up first. Start with 8 drops of that. And by the way, I did some research on this stuff. This stuff is not alcohol inks at all. This is actually a pigment, mica pigment. Because I couldn't figure out why these things drop like they do. And it is definitely not a alcohol. It's a mica powder thing, and I'll show you guys what I mean here in a second. I've been testing it in like Petrie's because it's just the strangest stuff. And Lightwish also has these pearlescent colors too. There's more, like I think 10 of them in a package, but these are their newest. I think I'm going to put just a few more drops of that in there. Okay, that's much better. All right, now, so this time I'm going to do this technique just a smidge different. I'm actually going to pour clear first, just because I want to, you know me, I'm always wanting to test. Let me move this back over here. Now, as I said a minute ago, I wanted to show you what I've been testing with this Lightwish stuff, because it's not a, let me wipe my hands off. I should have gloves on. Jeez Louise. What was I thinking this morning? I've been testing this Lightwish stuff because it's actually very unique stuff. And if you take clear resin and put it in something, and then if you take and drop it into the clear resin, it literally looks like a lava lamp. I kid you not. So like if you look at this, the top of this, I just put clear in there. Now there's a black layer underneath this. I just put clear in there, and then I just drop the purple. And when it goes down, it looks like a lava lamp, and then it just drops, and then it disperses. Now, look at the pink layer. The pink layer, I just put clear because I just wanted to do clear. And then the pink, I put in alcohol inks with it. And then I added some of the Lightwish. Now this layer I did nothing but put just the Lightwish in, nothing else. The pink layer, I added alcohol inks with it. And so when the alcohol inks were mixed with the Lightwish, look at that. Look at the Petri effects with that. It's kind of crazy. It's almost like it stops it and slows it down so that it does that. And if you notice, when these dropped, they just did that. Same thing on top. This one here is the blue, I think. No, it's purple. And then what I did is just put the Lightwish on top of clear, and then I just put alcohol ink on top of it. Just white alcohol ink. I just wanted to see what it would do. And that's what it did with just alcohol ink on it. So it's really crazy, the effects. So you got 3 different effects here with different product. So just alcohol ink, white. This is mixed with alcohol, colored alcohol inks, and alcohol ink white. And then this is just the Lightwish in clear. So it's quite a versatile product and what it does. So it's really unique. Very unique. So yeah, I just thought I'd show you that. It's really kind of cool. And that's what it looks like from the side. So if you haven't tried these Starry Night colors from Lightwish, you really need to, because they're quite unique and they give off some really cool effects in everything. I'm getting ready to order my second set, and I'm thinking about, I've used them so much because I've been testing them and all that good stuff, but I think I'm going to order their pearlescent set too. So those spores in there are just unbelievable, how that just dropped with that. And it looks like a little spore farm in there. It's kind of cool. So anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you because they're more than just, they're not alcohol inks at all, which is what I thought they were. So there you have it. Okay, back to this. We are going to let this cure, and then when I come back, we will reveal what we're going to do on top of this. Okay? All right. Have a good morning. Drink your coffee, whatever it is that you do in the mornings, and we will be back in a couple hours maybe. All right, guys. See you in a couple hours. Bye. Good afternoon, y'all. Guess what? It's time to do the surprise. Um, I'm actually waiting on my resin to get up to temp. What does it mean when you're waiting for your resin to get up to temperature? You guessed it. We're going to do a bloom. We're going to do a bloom right on top of this whatever you call it, the bottom of the bowl type thing. And it's going to be fun. Are you excited? I'm always excited to do a bloom. Okay. We are at temp. I decided to dig out my little tiny heat mat because I'm using the iSTOYO resin, and it's a more of a medium viscosity versus a thinner viscosity like the casting resin. And so I wanted to get that a little warmer than what I have in the past. Okay, so before I mix up my white, I'm going to go ahead and pour my clear on here. Now this is going to be a new for me thing. I've never done a bloom in a bowl. So I can't decide if I want to, how much I want to put in here. I think I'll put about that much. Okay. We're going to let that sit for just a minute because there are a couple bubbles here. I should spread it with alcohol, but okay, so on this bloom, I'm going to drop my inks, but I want to try something different today with my inks. We're going to use the Dark Orchid and in the Dark Orchid I'm going to mix the Lightwish colors. So I want to see, I've tried mixing it in the casting craft, but not had much luck with that. So we're going to try it with this just to see what we get with this. Because you know me, I'm always testing something. So I get a pipette. Look at those babies spread. Okay. Now I'm going to mix up my white. That's pretty. Same mixture, 2 drops, 5 drops. As I always do. Okay, now we're going to start piping. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Okay, that's it. We shall wait until that gets done. And then we'll be back to see if it was a success. Cross your fingers. Okay, check back with you in a while. Bye, guys. Hi, everyone. We're back. Ready to demold. I just took it out from underneath my resin curing machine. It's a little warm, but we should be okay to take it out. It might be a little bendy because it's warm, but it's okay. And as I've learned, we're going to roll it this way with this mold. Oh, boo-wah. All right. I'll cover it because I don't want you to see it yet. Okay. Are we ready to see it? I haven't seen it either, so we'll both see it at the same time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, wow. That's different. Let me put my glasses on for this. Wow, talk about your 3D bloom. That's kind of cool. Can you guys see that? Remember when I was telling you about how this stuff, how it grabs on to whatever it is and it makes it drop like this with alcohol inks. So that's exactly what it did with this. It took that alcohol ink and it just dropped it and made it look Petri-ish. Have you ever seen that in a bloom? Oh my God, I think I created something new. That is so cool. It's a 3D bloom Petri dish. Oh my God, that looks so cool. That is wild. Because see, look at it on this side. I mean, you can see the white, you know. I wish I'd have made the white darker. But then you see all of that Lightwish grabbing onto that alcohol ink. And it just dropped it, just like a Petri. You guys, I think I've stumbled onto something really cool. Now I know for a fact nobody else has done this. That is the coolest thing I have ever seen. Ever. The coolest effect ever. That is so cool. I don't know what to say, you guys, other than I think I've created something new. With all my testing. I mean, you know, this was such a small scale in here. And then with this, you spread it out. Let me see if I can get a white piece of paper. See if that'll make it stand out more. See if that way you can see it just a little better. There, now you can see it. Can you see that? Is that not unreal? So down inside here, all these little formations in there are these little, like I said, little mushroom worlds or whatever. Except for in this case, they expanded and bloomed out. That is the coolest looking flower I've ever seen done in a 3D bloom. I'm gonna have to, well, wait a second. I had some extra white and extra clear left over. So I poured it into a mold, and then I did now on this, with this one, I just did, you know, just the circle, and that's all I did. I didn't do any more circles than that, okay? So, God, that is absolutely stunning. Now on this one, what I did, because I had so much white left, I did the normal circle, and then I just kept going around and round 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 and round. And so it left like just a constant circle round and round and round. So I'm curious as to what this one's going to look like. So let's take this one out. It's not full, obviously. Okay, are you guys ready? Let's check at this one. Now see, this one did the same exact thing in here, just not as dramatic as that one because there was more white for it to fight through. So less white in that one, more white in this one. So if it has less white to fight through, you're going to have that effect. This one had a ton of white in it, so it didn't drop as much because it had more white to fight through. Now these, I think, happen because less resin to drop through, because there wasn't that much resin in there. But that's pretty too. I mean, it all went through, you know, all that white. But you can still see the little pea trees on the ends there throughout all of that. I think if there had been less white, oh, it's a beautiful bloom, and more resin to drop into, this here wouldn't have happened. And it would have been more uniform. I mean, because I think this was less than a couple ounces of resin. What do you guys think? Haley, I'm calling on you. What do you think? What do you think of my theory? Because this was your idea. And I'm just stunned at the fact that I created that very same thing in here. And see, and in this one, where's my thing? This one, there was only a centimeter for that to drop in there. And all I did in this one was, it was a centimeter of resin. I dropped a couple drops of pink, and then I dropped the I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was the gold. Yeah, it was the gold. And it wasn't the deep gold. It was just in the starry color. Because see, there's two different styles here. There's the starry color, and then there's the deep. And in this one, in these, I used both of them. Mixed it in with the alcohol ink. Now in this, all I used was the gold starry. I didn't use the deep gold. So that makes a difference. And then up here, all I used on the top of this one was just the starry color. I didn't use the deep. And then in this one up here, I used the deep. So it makes a difference which one you're using. I don't know what's in each one of them to make the difference. All the research I've done, I can't tell you that. Because it does not tell me anywhere what's in these, other than the fact that they are resin dyes, not alcohol inks. So, that being said, the difference between these two is this one was less resin, more white, and I mean a lot more. Because when I put it down, I just went all the way around and then just kept going around and around and around and around and around until all my white was gone. And there was probably, where's my cup? Because when I first mixed this up, it was 1.25 ounces. And then I used some in there. And so I still had 0.75 ounces. So this in here is about 0.75 ounces that I used in here. So that's a lot of white. So it had a lot to push through on this. Whereas with this one, it didn't. And you can tell because the white is very sparse. And you've seen me. I just did just the normal circle, and I didn't even go out into this area at all. So that's interesting. That's an interesting technique. Very interesting. But I do love that flower. I may put a white background on it. Or maybe not. I don't know. I can't decide. Or maybe I won't put any background on it. I mean, it looks good just by itself. Oh, well, let's look at the bowl. We got so carried away with the bloom. Ah, that's funny. So remember, I poured clear first this time. And if you notice, the colors went down. I got a couple bubbles in there. The color went down to it, and then it turned around and went right back up. So it didn't go down to the clear and stay down. It turned around and went right back up all the way around. So we have some interesting techniques, and I did get a bunch of bubbles all the way around this, and I think it's because I used the iSTOYO resin this time, and the iSTOYO resin, because I'm using it cold, it wasn't really that warm. Or when I poured the bowl, it wasn't warm at all, and so it had bubbles in it. I should have ran it through my vacuum chamber, and so all of these bubbles were in there. So I should have ran it through my vacuum chamber, but it's okay. This was just an experiment anyway, so. But yeah, look at that. That's even pretty. Very cool. Love those colors. So I wonder if I can recreate this. But I think I'm going to do it in a coaster. I'm going to try to recreate it in a coaster, compare it, like leave this one like it is, and then redo it in a coaster, just like I did it in this one. Because that is phenomenal. Phenomenal. What do you guys think? Haley, what do you think? Since this was your idea. I'm impressed. I am very impressed. Now, can you guys see when you're looking down on this at all in the camera? Can you see that in there? That's that orange base I was telling you about. And I think that dark orchid may have that orange base in it too. So you can see it at the top of this, but you can't see it on the side. It's just weird, some of the bases that they need to have in some of those colors. But this literally on the inside looks like the color of an orchid with those two colors of purple. This is very pretty. Very pretty. Okay, guys, there it is. Miss Haley, I'm going to need you to chime in on this because I'm impressed by this here technique. See what you think, and what if you think what you think about my theory on this. And you know, the same with this. But I think we've stumbled onto something here that nobody else has ever done. I'm quite anxious to hear what you guys think. And all of you guys that critique my work, especially, and I don't know your name because all I ever see is your title on my in my comments, but your title is, I think it's Angel from Hell, Angel Eyes from Hell, or something like that. I don't remember what it's called. But what do you think about this too? I'm curious. I want to know what everybody thinks. I want everybody to tell me what they think about this and this technique. I know that a lot of you guys are in, you follow other groups, you are in other groups, you're in other YouTube channels and stuff. And I'm just curious. And I know blooms are very popular, obviously, because, pouring your heart out does them. Michelle Glitz and Glitter, a lot of people do blooms. So I'm curious to know if, while you're watching another channel, if you've ever seen this happen, or that they've tried this or whatever. So let me know in the comments, guys. I'm really curious about this because I think it's an awesome technique. Okay. I'm going to go and be astonished for the rest of the night, and I'm going to make sure I write down everything that I did so I don't forget. Oh, goodness. So, all right, guys. There's the experiment. Give you one last go at what it looks like. It's very pretty. Very pretty. I really like it. I'm going to have to redo it. See if I can reduplicate it. But this time, make sure I run the resin through my vacuum chamber so I don't have all those bubbles. Okay, guys, that's it for me tonight. I will catch you on the next video, even if it means I'm going to reduplicate this. I don't know what I'm going to do next, but I'm more curious about this now than ever. So, okay, we'll catch y'all later. Have a good evening. Bye.